The platform administration considers them unwanted for any kind of reason. The pretext that is used to justify such actions, in general rule of thumb, is the struggle against the fake news. But who decides what something is false or not? The same corporations that own these digital platforms, or of course. In other cases, they talk about the so-called the violations of the terms of use of the social media. At the same time, the red lines that cannot be crossed are not clearly defined, and also they don't always correspond to common sense. Some other times, the reason for a blockade are the restrictive measures imposed by a particular or several governments against a concrete media, which is a clear act of censorship. When it's not a blockade, it's something. It's other ways to complicate the work, and I mean to these tools that are called as algorithms that make it possible for a product to be visible to the users. The algorithms are not only used to help the user to for him or her to receive the elements that it wish, but is they are actually instruments to control the public opinions. Us in the Russian media, we face all kind of restrictive measures like the one I've just described, and sometimes we say we are the most censored media in the world because with the passing of time we are the ones that have the most restrictions, and we must understand that we are not and will never be the only one, because the communication media of any country that has a policy, independent policy, editorial policy, are not immune to these kind of measures. And so, for some years, we have seen like the then Twitter mark the accounts of Cuba Debate as a media affiliated with the government of Cuba. We saw the case of blockades against the TeleSUR accounts, and our colleagues in Nicaragua also reported the case of blocking of its content under a formal pretext that behind we could see the political reasons. However, we won't paint it all black, and in this from this part of my speech, I'm going from the challenges to the solutions. In relation to what we just said, we can define two possible strategies of interaction with social platforms that are not exclusive among themselves and can be combined. The first, the most ambitious, is to seek or create alternative platforms that have user policies that are truly democratic, and it's easier to do it together, joining forces in a complex task, because the platform must be attractive for the users, but it's not impossible. And we have been doing this already in other parts of the world, in the global south, or how we say in Russia, in the majority of the world, because due to geography, it's very difficult to be called as a part of the south.